What it do, y'all? So Very Points of RoBs Inferno while it burns slow. Shout out to my gods and goddesses, non high vibrational human beings. You know what the fuck it is for real. Tap in, tap in, tap in. You hear what I'm saying? You gotta touch on some things. You hear what I'm saying? Gotta touch on some things. We had some good lives earlier, but we gotta touch on some more things right now, briefly and whatnot. You know, with this shift and stuff. I'm gonna get some time, let some people come in here and stuff like that. I really don't really want to start talking until my moderators come in and shit because it's like y'all know how it be and stuff. Once I start really unleashing information and stuff, how it summons the trolls. You know, it summons them. You get what I'm saying? But some of the stuff that I want to speak on right now, I want to speak on the unnatural weather. You know, and it's stuff that I'm still touching on with it because I know the basics of certain stuff around this fake weather, right? But it's connections that I'm gonna make that I'm gonna be able to confirm even more as I'm reading and studying certain stuff, and along with in association with particles. You get what I'm saying? Now, before I go in on this basics that I'm gonna say, so y'all can make certain connections yourselves and be able to, you know what I'm saying, understand what I'm saying and stuff. Now, first off, I'm gonna say this: neuromelanated beings and melanated beings, right? I'm gonna say blacks and Latinos, right? Us, we don't come from the cold. We're sun people, right? We like heat. Radiation is hot. Something that's involved in our all of our bodies naturally that we all have in unison. You know what I'm saying? That's not by coincidence. You know, it's not by coincidence. It also says our species, but it's almost like our signature with nature. You get what I'm saying? It's our signature with nature. These green veins, the radiation running throughout our entire body, right? It's our biological identification to your planet, right? That we naturally have, even while we're in this docile state and we're living against our means, and our oppressors are amongst us, with us having Stockholm syndrome, right? Our genetic makeup ain't changed. Our anatomy is still the same, right? So it's something that I want to talk about with y'all understanding this about how, because like the cold weather, right? I never understood why I didn't like cold weather. I never understood that shit. Like I used to always be like, damn. And to be honest with you, when I was younger, I actually used to like it. When I was younger, but y'all hear people say stuff like this, like that the snow was different. You know what I'm saying? And it was like you make a snowball. It's like, but we understand why it was different because it was never real to start with. Even the version of it that they had and how they switched it up, that's a whole nother conversation I'm gonna get into eventually. But the shit was all fake. You feel me? The shit was all fake. It was never real. You know? So the fake weather, the cold weather that's unnatural to your planet, the irony of that cold weather, you know, is in association with the moon, you know? And this is stuff that I'm just trying to explain basics to y'all before I go in on stuff, right? The moon the moon has no I'm gonna say this. The sun has no association with winter, you know? The sun has no association with snow, with cold, you know, the sun isn't anything of that. But the moon is though, right? Now, we know the moon has no association with us, besides from a negative standpoint. You know, you could say with the black woman dealing with her menstrual cycles, you know, with her having periods and stuff, and how that's set up and what it's not supposed to be like. But off of lack of awareness of self, it's accepted as normal. You get what I'm saying? Um, what I what I'm basically trying to say to y'all is because well, I'm gonna say it flat out. This, like I said, cold weather comes from unnatural people, and it's unnatural, just like them. And ironically, you know, neuromelanated and melanated people, we come from the sun. The sun is the most natural element on the planet that gives life to all. You know, It's not by coincidence. And that we have a connection to that, and some of us literally are that. And then some people don't have a correlation with that whatsoever. But they have a connection to that moon. You get what I'm saying? And then that moon has a connection to your code. Because that moon doesn't have a connection to radiation and heat. You get what I'm saying? So really understand what I'm trying to tell y'all. You know, because it's an attack on organic people in a lot of different ways. You know, we know the people that have the most unemployed is so-called African Americans. You get what I'm saying? So that means it's more people that's neuromelanated more than anybody on this planet that's dealing with homelessness. Now, who does the code affect mainly more than anybody? Where it's like even when the winter comes, it's like a fucking huge attack. It's an attack on homeless people. You hear what I'm saying? All of this is by design, y'all. You feel me? Now I'm gonna break it down to y'all even more. I'm gonna break it down even more. You know, you said here I'm having a shootout with where my I know my what do you call will be in here in no time. My moderators. But you said here I'm gonna have a shootout with. I'm gonna have we gonna have a knowledge shootout. That's what we gonna have. You and me can even have a knowledge shootout. You get what I'm saying? Just put some knowledge in here. You know, for anyone that comes in as I'm speaking on certain stuff, or even the other trolls, including yourself, that you know y'all can learn from each other, because y'all supposed to learn from each other. Even though you in a lower vibration, that don't mean you ain't supposed to learn. You get what I'm saying? So back to what I'm saying, like the all right, so homeless people on the outside looking in at homeless people and stuff, they don't really know what homeless people go through, because they're living completely separate lives. You know, so even if I was to explain down to your T the brain damage that's done from all the stuff of being homeless that you deal with, that you come across, right? Regular people aren't going to understand that, because that stuff isn't happening to them. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't even expect for them to understand it, right? But this is something that's certain, right? We know the code shocks you. We know about the cold plunge and everything. Everyone talks about the so-called health benefits. You know what I'm saying? But nobody wants to talk about the bad shit, though. You know what I'm saying? Because then you would see cold weather for really what it is, you know? It's not always good in that way that it shocks you. You know what I'm saying? And the way that it shocks neuromelanated people, you know what I'm saying? When we already have cortisol being released in our brain due to what a homeless situation, and then you deal with that cold, you deal with that unnatural ass weather, while your brain is being clogged up, while cortisol is being released repeatedly, which isn't normal. That's not normal brain behavior. That's fight, flight, or freeze. That's you being in a docile state. That's infringed ways, right? Basically what I'm saying, the fact that the cold weather isn't of us at all, nor is it of our sun, right? And y'all seen how it's been coming back randomly. Like y'all seen the past couple of days, it's been hot as shit. And then all of a sudden today, like it's fucking freezing, right? And then even with these next couple of days, I guarantee you it's gonna get really warm again, because it's like they're still trying to create the illusion of like winter still being here, as they know it's leaving, due to the changes that's taking place on the planet. You know, if you notice, all the stuff that's showing really what it is, they're trying their best to hide it. So you go along with the system and think that you're still supposed to be living like this, even as it's crashing, because this whole Western ideology, y'all see they're fighting with each other. You know, I remember I told y'all they was going to start doing that. I told y'all, I remember, if y'all remember, I was telling y'all that I said, dang, when the radiation starts increasing, the things that's going to be picking up mainly, them planes are going to start crashing like shit, emergency landings, all of that, all technology being messed with. And they're going to start trying to gaslight. They're going to start trying to gaslight in any way that they can, and cause distractions. You know, even as like I'm getting downloads, I'm not asking for y'all to believe me, but people that's known all the information that I gave y'all, and I gave y'all enough information and explained it in so much ways over a span of 5 years, where y'all know that I'm not just talking out of my ass. Everything that I said has happened, right? I can't even now while I'm on this live, literally right now speaking to y'all. Like my anatomy is changing way faster than the average neuromelanated being. So I'm having information coming to me what's to happen, you know? And when I try to explain it to y'all, you know what I'm saying? I don't even know all the way about this too much. But I know that there is mind control. MK Ultra and shit, that shit is real shit. They do be playing with people's brains and stuff. Certain people that have certain stuff. Now, I've been noticing, and this never happened to me my entire life, y'all. But since I've been coming into like the awareness of like here I am, and my brain has been getting these so-called downloads about what's to happen and here I am and how we should be living and what's against us, regardless of how it's being projected and shit like that. And it's so crazy because when I'm talking to someone on the outside or something like that, it don't be like that. Now we know the Blu-ray with these phones and stuff, you know what I'm saying, and TVs and shit like that, right? Just hear what I'm about to tell y'all. Whenever I'm on here telling y'all information, for some reason, it's like my brain be feeling like as I'm getting information to tell y'all, like it's trying to be blocked. Like something isn't trying to let me gravitate towards the information as I'm getting it to give it out to y'all to receive it. You feel me? Almost like somebody's doing it or something. I swear to God to y'all, I'm telling y'all no lies. And I haven't really even spoke about this. That this might be the first time I'm actually even saying this, but this has been happening the whole 5 years of all the information that I gave y'all that I've been right about. You get what I'm saying? I just ignored it and act like nothing was happening because I just felt in my soul like that I got to give y'all this information out. You know, I wasn't always knowing all of this, you know? In the place where I'm at right now, people that see me over the years, they'll tell you I wasn't on this type of time, you know? So me knowing the information I have now and how I gave it out and how I've been right about everything, you know what I'm saying? Please understand, I'm not lying to y'all about when I be trying to give y'all information. It's almost like people are like trying to like shock my brain or something. Like it's weird. Like it's like I'll have the thought and then really while I'm explaining it to y'all and breaking it down, it's like something is trying to like block it. You get what I'm saying? Then I gotta think extra hard to remember the thought to give it out to y'all. But it's only when I'm on here and when I'm giving like really so-called say like esoteric pseudoscience type information, let them tell it that happens. You know what I mean? That's how I know that they're on my ass. And it's a lot of other minute ways that like if y'all don't understand certain stuff, you know, the average person wouldn't even be able to see it. You feel me? That's why gang stalking and all that shit is so detrimental because it's so much people that don't be knowing certain things and we be getting attacked, you know? You know what I mean? It's a real thing with our species, y'all. Hey, enjoy the rest of your day. God, peace, power, abundance to you, reflection. You get what I'm saying? This is why the sun is separating us right now because we have Stockholm syndrome, y'all. Even to a point that we can't even gravitate towards another neuromelanated being giving us positive energy. A black guy just walked by me with a white woman, right? Just because I respected his divinity as an organic being, that wasn't no disrespect to her. But he didn't answer me because he don't respect me for probably a superficial materialistic reason. And that's just him not knowing who he is, right? And he's gonna be judged for that, whether he knows it or not. Because regardless of how he thinks about any other black person for any reason to not respect them or not acknowledge them, he still has the same genetic makeup as me. You get what I'm saying? He's still the son in the flesh, you know? And that's why I tell y'all psychological slavery is real bad. So as the sun finishes separating us and as all this truth is coming out and it's being forced because of how we're still trying to live and act like everything is normal when it damn near isn't, you feel me? That's speeding everything up even faster. But the psychological damage that's been done to the masses entirely, they don't even understand and they're in fear. So whether they realize it or not, they're in fight, flight, or freeze, you know? They're in fight, flight, or freeze, y'all. I told y'all, I don't care how crazy I look. Because anybody that would look at me crazy or anything, I would just be like this. Tell me something that I said that I haven't been wrong, that I haven't been right about. There's nothing that nobody can say that I spoke on here that I said that was gonna happen that didn't happen. You hear what I'm saying? And beforehand, you know, everything that people laughed at me about or acting like wasn't gonna happen has happened. You know, the radiation is enveloping the planet right now. You know, you can look at the sun activity right now. The coronal holes, the CMEs, the solar flares. You get what I'm saying? The ozone layer, it still isn't coming back. You can look how much it's peeled back right now. It's hanging on by a string. You get what I'm saying? Like, all of this is happening. Every day, you can just go on Google right now on your phone and put in earthquakes. And I'm not even going to tell you, you know, earthquakes is hitting places where earthquakes don't even happen at. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything is being shooken up, you know? And it's like, and the one thing, look, I got a Bible with me right now, right? And I talk about this all the time. because a lot of people don't understand how to discern this book. You get what I'm saying? And how this book is our story, but in a way to disrespect us and confuse us and not have us know who we are at the same damn time. You get what I'm saying? Because the same people that we're associated with as regular people around us as us being one human race are the biggest narcissists. You know? Think about it like this. You know how you in a bad relationship, right? And you escape a narcissist? What's one of the main things that always happens to you as soon as you leave them? They start like a smear campaign on your name, right? Because you choose yourself, so the boundaries are up and they can't get to you, right? Y'all know how they do that. But what's the main thing that they do also once they leave you? They claim they leave you alone. They hover over you, right? They discard you like you ain't shit to think the grass is greener on the other side, but they still like hover on you on social media. They watch you. They still want to see what you're about. You know what I'm saying? They want to see the damage they done. They want to see if they made the best decision. They still want to be connected to you, even possibly to come back, right? And do even more damage, right? That's how narcissists work and shit. Now let's go fuck your head up, but real shit. The state of so-called neuromelanated people, black people, right? Remember how I told y'all all the conditions, and even down to the mental illness that we so-called have and stuff, is due to the infringement of this ideology that we're living with, for lack of awareness, knowing who we are, right? They're aware of that, right? So all the stuff that's harming us, right? They're aware of how it's even affecting us on a psychological level, but we're in acceptance of it because we don't even know how our brain works, right? Even besides the cortisol and the fight, flight, or freeze. But that I always speak on that because that's so detrimental, right? But so them being aware of this, right? They're super aware of it. They're super aware of it. So in the same way how a narcissist will hover over you, what do you think that is when they see you in these situations, so-called as like homelessness, poverty, mental health? And then they're looking at you like it's just something wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? So they cause the damage and have the system. They create the problems and the solutions, but the solutions aren't even real solutions because they're the ones creating the problem. It's the most narcissistic circle, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like the same people that's having me in the positions that I'm in and how they have it set up, you know, socially engineered. I got to come to those same people for help. You get what I'm saying? Y'all don't see the abuse in that? Y'all don't see that? You know? So, and it's just like a narcissist. It's like they'll look at you homeless, they'll look at you and they know what's causing this happening to us from a collective. Even their own people that they don't give a fuck about. You get what I'm saying? So this is really real spill, y'all. Like, you know what I mean? The narcissists are all around us. And it's to your point now, y'all, even all the information that's coming out about who we are is so overwhelming that it's contradicting even the lies of the so-called first people, what's in the Bible, all of that. You seeing all the people on the internet in shock because they're like, wait a minute, I was told this or I was told this. And it's like, it's not that, bro. It's not that, you know? It's not that, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's not that. So it's about to get real. Really watch out backs this year because I told y'all know how I say majority of anything where we're at right now, just make it to your next day as a neuromelanated being, because we just got to watch the show. This the Truman Show. It's crashing. All them fighting with each other and shit. We just got to let them fight with each other while Mother Nature tear this shit up and everything else. Let more radiation come into your planet. You know what I'm saying? Before we know it, we ain't even gonna be seeing our skies blue no more. We're gonna be seeing what our sky really look like. All the colors and everything. You hear what I'm saying? That align with us in our anatomy. You know, us in our highest vibrational state, you know, doing what we supposed to do, you know, taking care of our children, you know, guiding our species right. You feel me? You know, and one in turn better in tune with the infinite, which is ourselves, you know, which is ourselves, not giving power to anything else outside of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about even from a religious standpoint, even superficial materialistic stuff, you know, seeing stuff for exactly what it is, you know, not what it's intended to do with infliction, with deception, with confusion, you know, with manipulation. You hear what I'm saying? Like, no, y'all, this is such a good time. I have so much information. I'd be like, you know what? Fuck my financial situation. I'm gonna just sit right here and I'm gonna make sure I make it to your next day. You know what I'm saying? Because best believe, how everybody was looking at me last year, they looking at me a lot different right now. And how people are looking at me right now with everything that's going to happen this year, they're going to be even looking, and a lot of them ain't even going to be here next year. You know what I'm saying? Like real shit. Like this shit is real, y'all. You know, the one thing that I feel like that we all can come in contact with is they're trying to gaslight us remembering who we are off of their fake life that they infringed on us to a point of us thinking that this is how we supposed to live, and how much we divided ourselves even amongst taking what they had to offer us. You feel me? Real shit, y'all. You know? So nah, this shit is beautiful. You know, this shit is beautiful. You know, I literally might be here, you know, warm up for a little bit, and like I told you, I might leave here around like 1 o'clock, and I might just go to sleep, and just to hurry up and make it to your next day. You know, for real, because that's all I care about is making it to your next day. Because I know that this shit's almost over. Hey, shout out 1 dozen eggs, man. 1 dozen eggs, man. What it is? Let me look at your profile real quick. No subscribers. 2 years ago, damn. How you don't got not one subscriber? How you don't got not one subscriber? 1 dozen eggs, and you started your shit 2 years ago. I don't know either. You know, I'm trying to figure it out. 1 dozen eggs. Oh shit. You know, shit crazy, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, y'all, we just gotta make it to your next day. We in hell. You gotta realize, once you know what you in, and you don't even see it the same, everything becomes just fake as shit. I don't even look at these unnatural people like even people no more. I just look at them as all the animals that make them up as an organism, you know, that they be trying to run from, and the last of they deception that they caused on the planet on their way out. You get what I'm saying? I'm being real. Like, and it's not racism or anything. It's just seeing them for who they are. You know, like how you see a narcissist for who they are, and then even when you see them for who they are, they still trying to act like you don't see them for who they are. That's the stage that we're in with unnatural people right now, and even our own species that want to act like we're supposed to be living like this, while our children are subjugated to the same species that killed our children in numbers, thousands, millions. You know what I'm saying? And still do today, and snatch all children up. Even they don't give a fuck about their own children, but we feel safe around these people. There's white men on the internet right now that, matter of fact, I'm actually going to post a video of a white man saying it. Matter of fact, to even prove what I'm saying. I know some people are going to try to gaslight it, but it's so much truth coming out right now. Y'all can't gaslight all this truth coming out, no matter how much y'all try. You know, it's white men on the internet talking about how narcissistic white men are from a collective majority standpoint, and even breaking down why, from how it starts from childhood Christianity, and how their narcissism starts at a young age, and around authority and stuff, and how it branches off into their adulthood. He broke it down like shit. And I know there's a lot of people that was mad as shit, because ain't nothing more wilder than the complex cell organism from a collective getting mad when their own species calls them out for their bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's happening now, because they can't keep putting the blame on us and making it seem like we're the problem when y'all don't even give a fuck about yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Fuck you talking about? Y'all don't even give a fuck about yourselves. So how much can you keep pointing a finger at me? You know, I'm not even moving the way I should on my shit, and I'm being forced not to move how I should on my shit off of y'all trying to enforce control on me, just so you can feel superior. You feel me? Fuck out of here. I know too much, so it's all lies. You know, like an average. And I'm not racist saying this, you know what I mean? I'm not, but I wouldn't give a fuck if anybody thought I was. How far we at? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I speak my truth wherever the fuck I'm at. I don't give a fuck, y'all. I don't. You know what I'm saying? There's no in between with me. I'm just about truth, you know, for real. So that's why I tell y'all as neuromelanated beings and stuff, really be careful out here as this shit shuts down, because it's dangerous. As we go forward, I told y'all the main thing that they're gonna be doing around their distractions and their shit falling apart is they're going to be trying to provoke us. They're going to be trying to provoke us. Think about all the stuff as black people that they do to try to provoke us, right? Or create situations out of nothing. They're going to be doing that like 100 times more right now. You know, that's why I say as we go forward and they get exposed, because they're exposing themselves, right? You know what I'm saying? Just like how narcissists, when it's crazy how it's all in relation like this, but it's that real. You know, like how narcissists, how they start fighting with their flying monkeys and shit. Once you leave the whole situation alone on whatever type of relationship you have with them, and they start fighting with other people that they was conspiring with you against and shit. That's what they're on right now. You know, that's what they're doing right now. You know what I'm saying? Like like I know I already said like I ain't give a fuck about her, and I kind of want to talk on that again because all life is important, right? All life is important. And I said that kind of out of anger. All life is important, but you got to understand, for one complex cell organism to be killed by their own species, when y'all been, I don't understand why y'all even riled up about that. That just speaks that much more so how much y'all forgot who y'all are and how y'all about to repeat the dark ages, cannibalism, and all of that again. Y'all been killing each other. You hear what I'm saying? Like y'all abused us so much and think that we supposed to be living like this so much that y'all forgot that y'all been killing yourselves. Go read up on history and see what people of your genetic makeup have been doing. Y'all were eating each other and everything. What are you talking about? So to think about you shooting each other, like that's nothing. Y'all been harming each other. That's why y'all can't live amongst each other by yourselves. Y'all gotta abuse us because y'all can't live amongst each other civilly. Y'all never been civil people. This is facts. This is facts. That's why anytime we had like Black Wall Streets or anything like that, or we're like flourishing and stuff, what happens? Y'all fuck it up because y'all have to, for y'all to have power, y'all gotta use us to run y'all system and manifest for y'all, because y'all don't know how to manifest amongst yourselves without conflict. You feel me? This is facts. I know so much about y'all species. Even if you don't want to hold yourself accountable for your species, I still see you how you are. And in any way of you trying to acknowledge all of this that I'm talking about on here, you're a part of the problem. I'm in the most stuck up, entitled, self-absorbed area in the whole 50 states right now. Majority of people in the DMV area, even where we're at right now, they're acting like everything is fine. You right? I'm the most scared for this area because I know this is gonna be one of the areas that people wild out the most off of their truth being shaken up from the inside out. I already know. You get what I'm saying? So like I'm in tune with all the energy out here. I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? I'm seeing the nervousness. I'm seeing the getting out of the cars extra fast. I'm seeing all of it on all levels. I'm seeing it on all levels, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing it on all levels. And it's really sad. It's really sad because when you really realize the abuse that we're really living in, that's deemed as like regular reality, because of the little bit of time. It really hasn't even been that long. And less than 70 years ago, we was in zoos, y'all. We was in zoos not that long ago. Like, believe it or not, this way of life, this ideology, like we really haven't been living like this that long. It really hasn't been that long. But it doesn't take a while for psychological damage to come about. A woman can get beat up real bad by a man right now, and that psychological damage carry her for the rest of her life. And that situation just happened in a minute. You hear what I'm saying? To let y'all understand what I'm talking about. Like, so, but you got to understand the effects of raping, right? If you really pay attention, that's the one thing that they don't want to talk about more than anything. Like, even when I said that this dude just touched his nose and shit, because I know he felt it. Like, raping, what raping does, when you're raped, like, what that does to you on a psychological level, you get what I'm saying? Even from a standpoint of growing hair from the inside out. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of levels of that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's really harmful that they don't want to talk about. This is the real reason why they want to try to erase slavery, you know what I mean, and stuff, and act like it never happened. Because think about it, it's like, of course you would want to erase something while you got something up in a way of life that even you yourself shouldn't be living, literally, you know what I'm saying? So of course that makes perfect sense. That goes right along with the confusion, try to erase the truth So this false narratism seems that much more believable. You know, of course, it's nothing. It's nothing. It's not rocket science. You know what I'm saying? But you got to realize we're in a generation where it's crazy because I saw somebody. I'm actually gonna post it. I saw somebody say it on somebody commented on a video and somebody said they said people in the DMV. They said people in the DMV are so uh matter of fact, I'm about to get off and go to my pictures, and it's crazy. I can't find it, but basically, what she was saying was this. Summarize what she was saying was, she was saying that everybody in the DMV area, nobody really shows up as their authentic self. That's what she was saying, and she was saying that everything that how people show up is coming from a very shallow place because nobody's showing up as their authentic self, and that's the truth, y'all. See, me, I show up as my authentic self. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not controlled by like I'm not trying to make you like me. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck if you don't like me. I hope you like me, but you know what I'm saying? I could care less. You know, because I'm in my righteousness. You know what I'm saying? I'm not controlled by money. I don't need friends. I don't care about having friends or not. You know what I'm saying? Like all the stuff that controls people and them not showing up in their authentic self so their peers can view them in certain ways and stuff like that. I don't care about that. That's why most people that's like that are the most dangerous people, because it's a straight glitch to this system and how to move and be like. You feel me? It like glitches it because a lot of the ways in this system how to move and to even have success, or even while within that success, how you got to be, is fake as shit. It's not authentic. It's a certain way of a vibration in which you got to match in to excelling. You get what I'm saying? It's fake as shit. You know what I mean? Like when you really realize how fake this system is, and I'm so happy that human beings are seeing it now. Like it's a lot of human beings. Like that's the most beautiful thing, y'all. That's the most beautiful thing, because y'all know for the longest time, all this type of information and stuff like this, you know, people tried to gaslight off of people's financial situation. That was for the longest. That was the main weapon towards truth. It's like, oh, that person don't got no money, so what they talking about isn't relevant. It's not valid. They're just mental health. They're talking out of their ass. They're talking crazy. What they're saying isn't valid in no shape, way, or form. You know. And then anybody else of value of an occupation of a certain money class, it's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? We just gonna quiet them because they got more money. People gonna listen to them. They must be saying something true. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the naiveness, the ignorance of people. Ignorance is bliss. You know, people think that just because people have money, everything that they saying is the truth, and that's not the truth. Actually, you got to be more cautious of people speaking to you, whatever they giving you, if they're like rich or they got a lot of money. You get what I'm saying? Be that much more cautious. You know? Hey, what's up, bro? What it is? I don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's why I really feel like y'all. I really feel like it's so much resistance on my life, even with my talent, because even with me having a certain bit of help, or me even being in a better position to record with the natural craft and my talent that I have, the average rapper out here, I'm way more better than them, way more talented, make way better music. You get what I'm saying? On all levels. I just get connected with certain people and stuff like that. It's a wrap. You know, so I already know it's like a silent war to like quiet me in any way for me not to get like known. You know, that's because like I was just explaining y'all, people associate the truth of whatever that anybody is talking about amongst like their financial situation. And the more I get out of my financial struggle, the more, sad to say, but the more people will listen to me, you know? And they know that, you know what I'm saying? That's why it's like such an attack on me for me to be in this situation. And it's that much easier to do because I'm by myself. You know, I come from a broken family and stuff. My dad was taken from me. My mom is traumatized. You know what I'm saying? All my brothers is gang members. You know, been shot, stabbed up. You know, I've been touched. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy, but life is real as shit, though. You know, another thing that a lot of people don't realize that you get so numb to your point, the type of numbness that I received off of my life, it was either I was gonna come into all this knowledge that I have now, or I was gonna crash out and kill a lot of people at one time. It was gonna be one or the other, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So, scratch what anybody think about me. I'm glad that I was able to transmute and alchemize a lot of that pain while I'm still going through pain right now. You feel me? I be speaking to y'all as if it's over. You feel me? That's how ahead of time I am, because I already know where we going. And it's crazy. I heard a goddess say it on the internet yesterday. She got crazy. Shout out to all the people with crazy followers that speak in truth. You know, it's not about me. It's about us as a collective. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we starting to move again. We starting to move as a collective, where it's like you attack one black person, you attacking all of us. You feel me? That's where we got to get back, because this shit is ran amongst us trying to get individual success. You know, capitalism. You know what I mean? Like stepping on the next man. As long as I'm good, that's all that matters. You know, every man for themselves. I don't got time to worry about you. I got to worry about mine. You know what I'm saying? And it completely against family, completely against nature, working together. All stuff that's naturally with us. You know what I'm saying? You see how we adopted their ways of thinking and moving, like, and how much it's destroyed us? You know, had us feeling that much more safer with our children in their clutches. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all. It's a reason why literally right now, if European people go to certain parts of the land, the black people will run from them. Right now, you know what I mean? Literally right now, they will run. They will run. They will, like, I'm saying, like, not even conversation. It's like on site, you know what I'm saying? I'm running. Like, I don't want nothing that you have to give me, nothing you have to offer me. No. Because we already know that, you know, everything with them is like a curveball. It's like underhand. It's like, and the real problem is this, y'all. The real problem is this. The reason why I speak of it, and I speak of it like I'm not racist or nothing. I have unnatural friends and all of that. But I speak about it like this, and I can, and not even feel bad, because I understand their behavior, their characteristics and traits, their cognitive dissonance when they get called out on their wrongs and stuff like that, and how they're not in the acceptance of it and shit like that. All of that, right? It's due to the animals that make them up as an organism. You know, I don't know what that's like to have gene sequences of different percentages of the same animals as the next person of my species that makes me up as an organism. I don't know how that would feel, especially right now when all of those animals are trying to express themselves. You get what I'm saying? I don't know how that would feel. So I actually have empathy and compassion with them, because I understand DNA. You know, I understand that the white man and the white woman share DNA with a separate monkey. They don't even have the same monkey. Like, I understand this. You know, I understand all of this. But the thing is we don't understand this genetics and how we're being manipulated around it. And not only do we not understand it, but yeah. Oh, I just thought about this. You know the song that's playing right now? Hey, this was that time though. Hey, what's the first game that comes to your mind? That motherfucking Grand Theft Auto. That was that Vice City. Y'all remember when that Vice City came out? I'm not gonna front. That Vice City was crazy when it came out. You had Lance. I felt like I was Scarface. You know, when Vice City came out, it had the little ramp, motherfuckers in the club like this and shit. You know how they used to be dancing in the club, y'all? What was the jump they used to play in the club? The no way to control it. Hey, that was the game. I'm not even gonna front. I would be Lance. I'd get in the white Lambo. I would by the little club on Vice City. I would hop the little ramp over the little water and shit, or I would go to my mansion and shit on the game. That shit was like that. That was a time. I'm not even going front. That song was playing a while, but I was giving y'all the downloads. I noticed it towards the end of it. I'm like, that jump was on Vice City. If I remember Vice City. I don't know about all the other Grand Theft Autos. You know what I mean? I was like 16, 08, 07. I was like 16. But that Vice City and that San Andreas, them joints was classic. They can't even relate to when they came out. You know what I'm saying? That was them joints, y'all. But yeah, though, you know, I had to put this I had to put this viewpoints out. You know, it was 4000 right when I said it. You know, and give y'all a little bit of information as a neuromelanated being to stay afloat. You know what I'm saying? Don't get baited in. Don't get baited in at all. Don't feel like the reason why the projections are going to pick up, even from a financial standpoint and stuff, with us is because you got to realize as everything is coming back to us naturally in all ways, and this is being broken from the inside out, it's like stuff that had us in a low vibration while under this monetary system, they're going to project more to make us feel inadequate from a collective majority standpoint while we're actually being bigged up, and everything is the opposite. You know what I'm saying? It's only like natural for them. It's like, damn, this system we infringed on them is crashing. We can't even stop it. The changes that's happening on the planet isn't conducive to our anatomy. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Damn. Well, while the last of this system is here, you know what I'm saying? If we can make them feel bad in any financial situation they in or however so, we're going to turn that up to the max because we don't even got that much longer to do it. You know what I'm saying? So while the last of it is here, let's just do it. You know what I'm saying? Let's try to make them embarrass themselves as much as we can until we're not even able to do that. You know, I feel like as black people, we all on one accord and we realize that's the type of energy that we're dealing with. You hear what I'm saying? It's professional black people, so-called say, that understand what I'm saying right now. You get what I'm saying? I be seeing all the videos, you know what I mean? So even if for a black person that don't think that we're all coming together, best believe we are. We're actually coming together so much and so fast that as all this is happening that even amongst like our profiles and stuff like that, and like put it like this, like say if a person has like a certain amount of subscribers, right? And then you know like how somebody can tap into like the notifications to know like exactly when you're going live and stuff, like how you got an option anyone that you were following, stuff like that, so you would know, so you don't miss nothing that they post or whatever and stuff like that. Like for people that got a certain amount, like a lot of subscribers and stuff, and they talk about a lot of this stuff I talk about and stuff like that, a lot of these people are being gaslit from the internet because y'all got to remember these sites and stuff is controlled by them and stuff. So a lot of those people, like it's stuff like when they go live, like and you hearing them talk about it, they're like, man, they're not even sending my videos out to my subscribers. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like small ways of stuff like that, so to not get your information out. And these are people that got like thousands of followers, like you know what I'm saying, thousands, like over 12K, millions of followers, like all over, like people that speaking on the same issues I am. I'm just one person. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of the area that I'm in, speaking on it. But yeah, it's like they're trying to implement new ways too. You know, and the last of us here. You know, they're trying to literally find ways to like gaslight us and make us feel inadequate, make us crash out. You know, because they one thing that they're aware of, they know that it's not even just the damage that was done to us from a psychological level. They're aware that it's even damage in remembering. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to go through that painful state of acceptance, like, damn, I fell for the okie doke. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, we really did get manipulated like this. Damn, I really wasn't supposed to even be doing this. I thought this was the right thing at the time. You know what I mean? I didn't know I was a prisoner of war. You know, I thought slavery stopped. You know what I'm saying? Like, the worst thing for black people from a collective standpoint is for us to feel like we got manipulated. You know, that if there's anything that make a black person go off, like their top go off, it's like that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Even us with ourselves, y'all know how we act when somebody try to play with us and we find out they manipulated us or they lied to us. We be ready to snap, right? So imagine the pain that this is inflicting amongst us. You hear what I'm saying? Like our children, like damn. Like I was worried about I'm moving in this neighborhood. I was worried about finding out all the child molesters and rapists before I moved to this neighborhood, so I know to be cautious of when wait a minute, my shit, just my children going to school, you feel me, is they being indoctrinated. They literally right in the enemy's hands. Oh shit. This the same species that did experiments on our infants' brains with 100% death rate. What the fuck? I'm allowing this. Oh shit! Now I get why screw is enforced. Now I get why they'll lock me up by not letting me allow them to educate my child. Damn, it all makes sense now. You feel me? Damn. You know, after the Emancipation Proclamation, it started educating us, entertaining us. We was accepted of that, thinking it was the right thing at the time and shit. You feel me? When it was strategic, it was a curveball all along and shit. Yeah, you know. You know, like how like a narcissist, like they did so much damage, or they did so much, they hurt so bad that, or you found them out, you know, they mask slipped off so bad that like they can't even face you. Fuck them even saying sorry, they can't even face you. You know what I'm saying? They might see you every day, see you in the area, they can't even face you because they can't even face themselves. Yeah, you know. So I understand what Yo was saying when he was like, man, the white people grieving right now. You know what I mean? I feel them to the best that I'm trying to feel them. I got no hatred towards them. You get what I'm saying? I swear to God I don't. But I'm passionate and irritated amongst the damage that's being done to all children, even their children. Like, just because y'all don't care about y'all children, that don't mean I don't care about y'all children. You get what I'm saying? You feel me? I care about all children, you know? That shit hurts my heart, y'all. That shit hurts my soul. Like, I don't even know. Like, that shit does something to me. Like, you know, like, y'all tried to make my heart cold. You know, y'all try to make my heart cold. And my light still shows, even in all the damage that y'all brung my way. You know what I'm saying? That's black people for you though. You know, everything that y'all gave us and still try to implement to keep us in a docile state, we flourish still. We adapted to stuff that we wasn't even supposed to adapt to. You know what I'm saying? That speaks volumes, you know? That speaks volumes, y'all. That speaks volumes. So, nah, like, as this shift happens and stuff, you know, it's from the betterment of, mainly, I say all the time, like, I'm happy that I'm about to be able to wake up and go to sleep in peace, real peace, knowing that all children are safe. Like, I'm not sleeping peacefully while some child, you know, by these people are being touched on in a wild way, or their organs being taken. Ain't no shit like that going on while I'm talking to y'all or trying to get some sleep, even in a bad situation on my own planet. It's not going on, you know? I'm getting closer to that every day. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting close to that, you know? I gotta let the people that's unaware just go around and act like everything is normal as this shit gets closer and closer to the point that they can't even come in this mall or go to their Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts in the morning. You know, I know that day's right around the corner. You know what I mean? And like, basically, like, you gotta have cognitive dissonance towards their gaslighting, because you gotta realize that it's coming from a neurological eruption that's happening with their frontal lobe, their brain. You know, their shit is being fried. You know, their cells are deteriorating, their whole body cellular structure. You get what I'm saying? They're having complications, birth defects. You get what I'm saying? Like photodermatitis, melanoma. You know what I mean? The rashes that they're having. You know, you see them when that radiation is. You see how much more they're spraying the skies, even at night. You're seeing the sombreros with them. You're seeing the glasses. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's causing more problems. The sun is just causing them problems. You know, and I almost feel like, in a way, like they're trying to make almost us erratic, or they're trying to have us wrapped up in their erraticness. Because anytime you put, that's why it's so crazy when y'all know how we were here growing up and stuff. Like, this is what I'm about to say to y'all. This is us in a docile state. When you know we were here growing up, stuff like they would say, man, I can't be around a lot of black people when they get hot. Somebody gonna start shooting. It's gonna be violence, right? You know, it's in our hoods growing up and stuff. How we, you know, it's too hot and it's a lot of black people, or something about to happen. the biggest attack on us. You know, we hot people, but us in a docile state, regardless of being hot people, and and using weapons that are made out of us. You know, that when it gets dirty, you know, you gotta built up carbon in it, right? You know, kinetic energy, something that we was able to tap into in general, right? We wouldn't use it. Think of a firearm as the highest form of weapon of protection, or using force, because that comes from them. You know how kinetic energy is nothing to us. You saw what Neo did with the bullets in the Matrix when that shit fell. Once he realized, like he was like, what? You know, it's some dudes in Africa right now, some neuromelanated guys in Africa right now that if you shoot them with bullets, literally right now, how far we at, the bullets ain't even penetrating them. Y'all got to remember, me in my highest state, my cells regenerate themselves. You know, meaning like my arm could get cut off and that shit grow right back. You know what I'm saying? All that shit in superhero movies and shit, I do that shit, y'all. You know? And like, I couldn't explain it before, but I can explain it now scientifically. I can explain it now, you know? And it's crazy. So me knowing what I'm supposed to be doing, me knowing that flying is nothing to me, teleportation is nothing to me, and I think that the greatest thing that I'm doing could is driving a car with a steering wheel. But my brothers and sisters out here doing stuff in the moment, faster than light, using zero energy. Come on now, that gotta make you feel some way as an organic being. And then you got to realize that stuff is being implemented for you to stay right here and not be right here, in ways, in the most minute ways that you wouldn't even think about, but it's there and set up like that, and it's playing a part in your brain activity and what you're accepting, what you're deeming as real reality, if your brain is undeveloped or not. You get what I'm saying? These people know exactly what they've been doing, you know. But the thing is, the more aware you are, you realize the damage, because a lot of this that I'm talking about, no matter how much I can explain it, a lot of people around me probably can't even fathom it, you know? And that's the saddest part. That's why I tell y'all, psychological damage is bad, you know? It's bad. It's very, very bad, you know? Once as I'm able to see all this, like I told y'all, my anatomy's changing way faster than, my shit is changing so fast, y'all, I can't even cut the shit off. Even when I be trying to go to sleep and stuff be happening to me in my brain, telling me what's gonna happen. Like even this year, like a lot of stuff last night, like I know that's gonna happen this year, and I want to tell y'all, but it was told for me not to tell y'all. I might tell y'all like right before it happens, like 2 days before it happens or some shit. But like, it's crazy, you know. And shout out to all the other neuromelanated beings, sun in the flesh beings that's on their shit right now, you know. I call some of these people out. Shout out to Kalai, you feel me? Shout out your guy, you know what I'm saying? I'm very appreciative of you, you know. You're one of the people that got me really understanding genetics more, you know. Rashad Jamal, definitely, you helped me out also. B-Dale, even Remedy H. Shout out Young Pharaoh, you feel me? Shout out all the OGs, Bobby, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Bobby. Shout out, it's crazy, y'all, because there's so much of us now. It's so, like, I remember it was like main certain people speaking on things, but there's so much of us on the internet now that's speaking on a lot of this, you know. And I feel like it's a place, right? It's a placement, because you could be on the internet giving knowledge as far as what we're living in as it's crashing, or you could be on the internet saying random stuff that's just in relevance of everybody. You know, no disrespect to these people, but I'm just saying. And what I'm saying specifically, you could, like, I could get on the internet right now and be like, I could stop talking about what I'm talking about right now and be like, he's doing you wrong. He's cheating on you, you know. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be valid to somebody that sees this video that's getting cheated on. You know what I'm saying? And you could say off of me saying it like, this is your confirmation. You feel me? Like, you could be on the internet doing that, saying random stuff like nothing, and I'm just being for real with y'all. With what's happening on the planet, where we're going, how much people are still trying to hold on to something that's not truth, you know what I'm saying, and stuff where we're at. The last thing you should be on the internet talking about is like relationships, as far as like people doing people wrong and stuff like that. You know, so even me, like I talk about that stuff, but I talk about it from a standpoint of like I'm still healing, but even still, I'm not even gonna say because I'm still healing, because they could be still healing if it happened to them. Like I'm saying, I'm still alienated from my child as this shit is closing out. I guarantee y'all, as soon as like this shit closes out and stuff like that, I'm probably not gonna ever mention her again or narcissism again. You know, because my only connection and thought with her is through my child, or if I'm the father of that child, and which she's still dragging on. You know what I'm saying? That these 5 years, you know, she don't take the DNA test, they gonna lock her up. You're gonna take the DNA test either in jail, they put out that bench warrant for your arrest, or you can do it this way. But either way, I'm gonna find out if I'm the father of that child. You know, it's gonna be exposed. But I'm pretty sure I am the father of that child. If I'm not, I'm prepared. But even if I am, that's not changing my stance with you as far as like the damage that you caused to our family, to that child. Nah, you still a hoe to me. I'm just gonna be real. You still shunned out forever. Like that's not making me look at you any different just because I'm the father of that child. That's basically what I'm saying. Like I'm not on that at all. You know, I'm not on that at all, y'all. You know, I'm still about to get back to my 5-year-old. You know what I mean? That's my Lord Troopy Troops. But yeah, though, all this that I'm talking about, y'all, no, it's serious. Y'all know I value y'all. I really do, you know. But everybody just protect your energy. You know what I'm saying? Protect your energy. Because it's wickedness that's being done, right? Deception is wickedness, right? But it's another level of deception being wickedness when you're trying to protect it as if it's not going on. You hear what I'm saying? That's a whole nother level of it. And that's where we're at right now, right? Hold up real quick. That's where we're at right now because I say this all the time and I point this out. And I'm going to say this, a lot of the stuff that I point out the same is because it's still here. Children still got on that school bus, right? There's still children, people being medically and mentally evaluated in different hospital practices in any city or state wrongly, or as if the complex cell, eukaryotic cell standpoint, right? The judicial system is still here in any city or state filled with neuromelanated, eumelanated beings, right? The head of any police precinct is the complex cell organism, right? Specifically European, right? You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the stuff, the fruit industry, everybody probably already got some breakfast, right? The fruit industry is against everybody's genetics, right? Sugar is detrimental for anybody's anatomy, right? You know, but you see in any hospital practice, they giving our kids lollipops, right? You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about, people will get mad at me as I'm bringing it up, as if like these things aren't here just because they're crashing, but they're still present and people are still capitulating in these things as if like it's normal, not knowing the damage that they're bringing to their own child or their life in general in association with it, connected to it. So it's like, no, y'all. You know, it's people like me, like I already sacrificed myself for the greaterness of all good as far as giving truth and real information out. So like I told y'all, it's stuff that I don't know how it's gonna go, but I know how it's gonna go. You feel me? And I appreciate y'all. I really appreciate y'all because all the people that's speaking truth right now, all over the planet and stuff like that, right? Y'all don't understand the power that we gotta have amongst the fearfulness of everybody else that can't really realize what they're living in. You know, any time that it would be children under attack in any shape, way, or form, there's nothing else that's more important than that. For what I'm saying is, there's nothing else that's going on around that you need to be more worried about that than this. You know, it's not nothing. You know, like it's stuff that's just so direct and flat out. And I'm telling y'all, a lot of people might not like what I'm saying, but I'm gonna say it like this: my brothers and sisters are gonna be even more direct than me about this stuff when they tell you this stuff, and it's gonna be telepathically too. It's not gonna be talking, and you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel like it's gonna be nothing that you can say towards the question that's being asked, and the excuse that you're gonna give. It's not gonna be valid. It's not gonna be valid. Like y'all just don't get it. It's not gonna be valid. That's why it's like We in a tribulation right now. We've been for a while, and a lot of people. Like, I'm not saying this like to toot my own horn or anything, but I know I'm spiritually protected. I know I am, and I know it's people within the area that I've been in that know I'm spiritually protected. They seen a lot of situations play out with me. They seen me get out of stuff. They, you know what I'm saying, like diabolical, unhinged stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a calling on my life because it's like on my heart. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm at, yeah. You feel me? There's a call. There's a calling on my life and whatnot. And I feel like the universe knew that I was for this information. You know what I'm saying? Because the universe knew I was already rebellious, and I naturally had a good heart. So the universe knew, like, dang, you know what I'm saying? He's the perfect person as far as for the black people, one of many. Um, let's make his anatomy change a bit faster because he's the perfect person. He checks off on all the areas of it, and in the area that he's in which is needed. And not too much people. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. The average neuromelanated being around me in this area that I'm in, because there's so much money flourishing in this area, they're either really stuck up, self-absorbed, entitled, right, or they're just they're they're trying to act like something that they're not. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. And I dealt with that. That was one of the hardest things for me in the Commonwealth, because I really come from some shit. So I would get offended. I would get offended when I would see certain people trying to play a lifestyle and shit that, like, I almost lost my life in and about a lot of times. You know what I mean? I'd be like, this shit really ain't nothing to play with. You know what I'm saying? Like, it might seem like a fantasy, but the life that really comes with this shit and how situations play out, this shit is really depressing and sad as shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I lost homies, you feel me? Like, off of wild shit, you know what I mean? That I gotta live with. I see their faces and shit. You know, like, it's not that, you know? So that bothered me. And then you got what do you call it? I forgot what I was gonna say. I ain't even gonna front. It'll come to me in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You say to your bad I'm not close by. You pull up on what? What's up? You you I'm gonna talk to you like straightforward with it. You here to build or you here to destroy? What you want? Respectfully saying. You know, there's no in between right now. You either trying to build or you trying to destroy. What you want, shorty? What you want? What you want? You hear me? Nah, but all this shit, y'all, is based off of fear. You know, and black people, we don't die, right? You know, we travel the dimensions. We got a soul. We the sun in the flesh. You know, I emit everything in that sun. I absorb it also. Anything that it can give out. So all these CMEs, these sunspots, these solar flares, I'm eating all of that. I'm biosynthesizing all of that. Like, it ain't about nothing. You know. Yeah, man. I appreciate that. That's what's up, man. It's funny you say that, because I say this: when the more information you know, it's depressing, right? Because you realize, like, the more you'll be taken wrong, and people won't see your light, or like if you're a good person or if you're a peaceful person, because how you feel about real life situations that's being that's almost being uh, shown as if it's not that way or it's not going on, you know. And that's a mental health attack, you know, because when you see something clear as daylight, like, just imagine you seeing this, like, you're like, look, I'm seeing this is red. this is red. I know that this is red. I'm seeing as clear as daylight, this is red. But everybody around you is thinking that it's gray. You feel me? But it was red the whole time. But it's like, and as it's being shown that it's red, people are still seeing it as it's gray. They don't want to believe that it's red. You feel me? But everything as you go forth and or as you've seen it, you can't see it ever being gray again. And other people are even seeing that it's red. But it's still a large majority of people, as far as like when you would go outside or a regular place, as far as in a populated area, that they're still seeing it as gray. You know what I'm saying? Now you're not gonna act like you're seeing it as gray because you know it's red, but you got to deal, with the placement of everything around, people moving, acting like, all in association that it's still gray. You know. Now you could lose yourself in that. You feel me? If you're around it too much, not in a way that you would start thinking, that it's gray once you see it as red, but you would lose yourself like just in the thought of everybody still trying to act like it's gray. You know? So it's like you gotta like, it's stuff that I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It's stuff that I do in my mental health that I don't even say on here, that I would never say out of protection of myself, to combat a lot of these energies and stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? Like I literally gotta like combat it in a positive way and transmute and alchemize a lot of stuff that is coming my way just because of the information that I receive. What I'm able to comprehend. You get what I'm saying? And if you're not strong mentally, that's why even like law enforcement and stuff, I know that they know. Like, people can say whatever the fuck they want to say about me, but they can't say I'm not strong minded, because the damage that's been done to me and my awareness of what I'm living in, even as a neuromelanated being, how much I care for children, how much people trying to protect toxicity and lies, and how it's affecting everybody and stuff like that. All of that, like I wouldn't be able to even talk to y'all like this if I wasn't all the way there. Like, I'm strong as anything, you know. Um, I'm gonna be honest with you. Amen. I'm just gonna be straightforward with you. The fact that you said some of that stuff and then you just retracted those messages. I already just read your whole energy. I'm gonna just be honest with you on that, bro. Watch the cars you get in, bro. Watch that shit, because I'm telling you, bro. With what I'm on, what I'm on, and how much positivity that I'm around, and you trying to be sneaky to be on any, it's not gonna turn out good for you. I'm just telling you. This ain't a threat or nothing. I'm just telling you, it's not gonna turn out good, because it's too much righteousness behind me. You know. You gonna end your life short, like, for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for real. It's not gonna turn out good for you. Remember, I told you I read energy. You feel me? It's not gonna turn out good for you, man. You know, I hope you find your way though. Stay positive. You get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Deal with them demons properly, man. Deal with them demons properly. You know. We all got stuff going on and stuff like that, but trying to bring a certain level of wickedness of any sort towards someone that's on the front line amongst all wickedness around them. That's like asking to sign out, especially right now. Because the reason why all of this is happening, y'all, is this. Like, you gotta think about it like this. I'm gonna tell you why it's insanity with people right now, right? Because everything that everyone's trying to combat around so-called black people, around neuromelanated people and stuff, it's all around energy. It's the radiation that's enveloping the whole entire planet right now on the backside of the planet that they can't even explain, but they really can because they know who it's associated with. But remember, we're all one human race, though. We're all one human race. So I'm just talking crazy. You feel me? We all one human race, y'all. You know, that's insanity. Trying to fight against something, that's literally going against nature. But that's all that's been being done on this planet, from Jumpstart. As far as the complex cell organism, the only difference now is the radiation has increased in a way how it hasn't been on a planet in forever. While the ozone layer is peeling back, that's the only difference now. You know, and like I said, with both of them things happening, that's not affecting everybody, all people the same, based off of DNA. You know, so it is what it is, y'all. It is what it is. You know, it's just one of them things. One of them things. But this is why I tell y'all though, just protect your energy. You know what I'm saying? Protect your energy. Even right now, while I'm in here, like they not gonna freeze me. I could care. I'm not gonna even let that psychological attack even hit me in a way. The same thing that they're using as a weapon, which is time. That's a false construct and has nothing to do with me. You can't put a time on a soul or age, right? That's the same thing I'm using while they fighting themselves as this shit closes out. I'm not getting too wrapped up in this shit and as if like, this shit gonna be here the same how it's been, you know what I mean, even 2 years from now. You know? I'm not even like I said, I was gonna go, I have an interview today at 11, but I don't have no help to get there. And due to everything, my mental health and my awareness, I'm not gonna be able to be dealing with people in a way on my route there, like how I need to, you know what I'm saying? So I'm about to call him and tell him straight up. I'm gonna let him know my situation also. I mean, there's nothing to be embarrassed about, especially with my level of awareness. However he chooses to go about it is that, you know what I'm saying? If he's like, oh, he's gonna set the interview up again around my first job or whatever, and he make it easier for me around my situation. If he does, he does. If he don't, he don't. I don't give a fuck either way. Like, it ain't gonna stop me. I'm still gonna make it to the next day. It's not, that job isn't bigger than me telling y'all this or me making it to your next day. You get what I'm saying? To see this shift happen, on my planet and see, you know what I mean, everything come back in order. Because when I'm talking about this is happening whether I have that job or not. I could go on that interview today at 1:00 and motherfucking and him talk to me and put me in a higher position with the company. That's still not changing all of this of what I'm saying, or that being bigger than this. You feel me? So what's really important, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not allowing myself to be fully tapped into this system in a way of it connected to me on like emotional state or anything like that. I know too much. I can't do that, you know. But I will make it to your next day though. So I'm gonna leave y'all with that right now, man. Peace, power, abundance to y'all. You feel me? Do something for children. You know what I mean? And I'm about to send some shit people way. You feel me? I'm gonna tap in with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I understand that this shit is spiritual warfare. Every angle of anything good or bad, I already thought about. Um, I'm Aquarius. They say, what they say, we in the age of Aquarius, right? There's a difference between believing and knowing. Those are two separate things. You know what I'm saying? Everything that I be telling y'all, this be from a belief standpoint. I mean, it be from a knowing standpoint, not belief standpoint. But I remember when I did believe stuff, and when I was believing, I knew it was truth, but I didn't know enough how to explain it, regardless of me believing it and knowing that it was the truth. You feel me? But now all of them things that I was believing, I can explain it on many different levels, not even just scientifically. I can even break it down on a 3D level, for relevancy for you to be able to fathom it properly. But even with that being said, due to the undeveloped brains, believe it or not, regardless of genetic makeup, some people still might not be able to grasp it. And that says a lot again about psychological slavery or psychological destruction in general, right? So I'm gonna leave y'all with that, man. It's a rear points of RoBs Inferno while it burns slow. Shout out to all my motherfucking goddesses and all high vibrational human beings. You know what the fuck it is, man. We gonna get this shift. We gonna make it to your next day. I'm gonna post all the recent sun activities, whatever solar flares are hitting the jump. But y'all know, like, a lot of as far as like the solar wind, the magneto's pulse, the Schumann resonance, the UV index, everything is going crazy. Everything is spiking. Everything is doing everything it needs to be doing. A lot of these instruments that's showing the activity on the planet, they're shutting down or they're not giving the data out properly. You know what I'm saying? Since lives ago when I was telling y'all how they cut shit off and stuff, a lot of that shit is still fucked with in wild ways. Is because they know that this shit's almost over. It's their way of making them feel comfortable as this shit is crashing out. So you just got to see it for what it is. Wish them best. Don't have hatred for them. Understand that all the damage that they caused on the planet that's coming back to them now. It's all based on the animals that make them up as an organism. As far as their characteristics and traits, their behavior that they gave out. Even towards themselves. You know what I mean? So even again, like you're seeing that video of Ice and them doing that to that white woman. Anybody that understands the history of that genetic makeup, you wouldn't be shocked about that happening. That was just like, that's why, and not only that, but you would see that as like the biggest distraction to try to have us worried about it. Because any of us that know who they are, but that's just a clear sign that we don't know who we are. You feel me? That's all that is. Just to make us embarrass ourselves even more. It's like we gonna kill our own in front of you and have you get rowdy about it, from a standpoint like this is what we've been doing to y'all. But y'all gonna allow yourselves to tap into that frequency because y'all forgot who we are and that we've been killing ourselves and we've been fighting with each other, So it's just, what I'm saying? Remember I told y'all they're gonna try to express themselves in ways of embarrassing us off of us not knowing who we are. And that was just another way. That's why when I seen that, and it was like the Ice shot the white woman, I'm like, so they haven't been killing each other. Look up their history. They weren't eating each other. Cannibalism didn't take place with them in the 1600s. Any period of history, them living amongst each other. You know what I mean? Has it not been radical? Has it not been hostile? You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't a shocking to me. It's like, oh, so they just gonna kill one of their own, and in a way, to show us that they don't care about each other. But that's only because we forgot that they never cared about each other. So I don't know, y'all, but this is why awareness is everything, though. You know what I'm saying? Don't get wrapped up in them fighting with each other and them hurting each other, and even in a way of trying to have us be connected to them. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to find all ways to have us connected and wrapped up in their shit as they shit is crashing. You know what I mean? So it's like, this is what I say. It's about knowing who you are. That any neuromelanated being that knows what that species has been about and how they never been civil people and they've been causing harm to each other for the longest. The only time they stopped causing harm to each other, and actually they didn't stop, but it just got dumbed down, is when we started thinking that they was us. And you know what I'm saying? With them knowing that they not us. We started interbreeding with them, feeling safe with our children in their clutches, like they didn't feed our children to crocodiles, like as if slavery stopped. You know what I'm saying? It's just, hey, but like I said, let the sun finish separating us. Let Mother Nature finish up. Let them think it's sweet. Let the people think that we're gonna be living like this 5 years from now, even 3-4 years from now. Not understanding genetics or the changes that's taking place on the planet that in which they're like this about. You know what I'm saying? They're hiding. Let me tell y'all, the average people, if I was to ask a random person right now and walk a random person in here and ask them about the solar wind, the magneto's pulse, like the Schumann resonance and stuff, like basic stuff, they wouldn't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So the fact that they're hiding data about stuff that what average people don't even about and can put together, that lets you know how much fear that they're in about something happening on the planet that they can't change. And I'm gonna just leave y'all with that, man. It's a Rude Points with RoBs Inferno while it burns slow. Shout out to all my guys and goddesses and all high vibrational human beings. You know what the fuck it is, man. We almost home. Everybody enjoy the rest of y'all day for real. Eat healthy, eat water, be great, man. The world is yours. You already know.